Hi guys, I'm Ryan, this is Sigma Survival, and I just want to say welcome to the channel. It is a survival channel, hence the name Sigma Survival, but it's a little bit different to what you might expect on some channels. So there's a lot of channels out there that are very niche and they're very specific, so some of them will be bushcraft specific, some will be medical specific, some will be tactical, some will be prepping. I have kind of an all-encompassing view of survival, and you'll see that in the videos that are to come. So my view is that survival is all-encompassing, like I say. So wilderness self-reliance is definitely a big factor in what I do. It's a massive foundation. Like being able to live off the land is crucial. But then there's also urban survival skills that you need to factor in, because I mean, I live in a suburban area. I don't live far from the wild, but you know, I live in a built-up area currently in the UK. So I have to have kind of more skill sets, if that makes sense, because I have to think about urban and suburban and wilderness, okay? And so should everyone else, because most people here are probably living in similar circumstances to myself. But there's also, I prioritise tactical self-protection and medical skills above wilderness self-reliance. And now let me explain. If you've got a bleeding wound that's just gushing out with blood and you don't know how to stop that, well then wilderness self-reliance is pointless, because you couldn't save your life to be able to use those skills. In the same way, if someone is running at me with a machete and I need to act fast but don't know how to, well then wilderness self-reliance, yet again, is null and void, because I'm now dead. So there's certain things in the hierarchy of survival which will always come first, but then the likelihood of those things happening are kind of down here. In most circumstances, they can still happen though. But wilderness self-reliance is more common. So there's a hierarchy of needs in my mind, and that's what you'll see in the video. So you'll see everything from tactical self-protection, which I draw upon my martial arts experience and my basic sort of soldier training in the British Army, which really was very, very much just basic training. I'll also be drawing upon the medical skills from my medical career, which, you know, I'll try and apply that to a survivalist kind of outlook, okay? You know, minimalist gear, what can we do with what we've got to help in a remote and austere environment. I also draw upon some herbalism knowledge that I've gained. Also looking at specialist skills like rigging ropes and abseiling without a rope. Yeah, that's a video for the future. You'll have to wait for that one. You know, using minimalist gear, rescuing someone from water if it's feasible, rescuing someone from a confined space, you know, or rescuing yourself from these environments, I should say, as well. So, you know, and then there's also the element of preparedness. So I like to be prepared. So we're going to be looking at different bits of kit and ways of packing kit and ways of storing kit so that it's optimal for any sort of circumstance. So the biggest one at the moment, which I've done a lot of research into recently, is radiological and nuclear threats, because of obviously the current political and geopolitical climate, I should say. The world is going crazy, you know, so knowing how to deal with any kind of radiation that's coming towards, you know, your environment is crucial. Knowing how to deal with like the explosion of a nuclear device, if you can survive that because you're at the right distance, and you know, there's lots of different factors. But being prepared for everything is impossible, really, guys. But knowledge is power, and the more knowledge you've got, the more prepared you'll be just in general. So you'll see that in a lot of the videos that I put out. This is why I wanted to put a YouTube out there, to share some knowledge, because knowledge is everything. And you might even be able to give me some knowledge in the comments and whatnot, and bounce ideas off each other in a sort of survival interface, as it were. Being able to have knowledge gives you the ability to be more confident, to act in the right way, and before you know it, you've got a higher survivability than someone who's got no knowledge or baseline, okay? And then thereafter, there's like a hierarchy of tools that I sort of go with. So as long as I've got certain parameters covered, you know, a cutting tool, cordage, container, cover from the elements, these sorts of things. So there's lots of different factors that are going to be presented within the videos, but that's because survival is all encompassing, okay? I'm surviving when I put the right clothing on and I go outside in the middle of a British winter to walk the dog, because if I was to trip over, and spend hours, waiting for someone to pass by and help, within that couple of hours I could die of exposure if I wasn't wearing the right clothing. So that's survival in itself, isn't it, guys? Knowledge is power, and whatever you find on these videos should hopefully help with that.